Hello, my name is Zai, and today I'm going to talk about my school, which is ECPM Strasbourg. So, the ECPM stands for Ecole Européenne de Chimie, Polymères, Matériaux, which translates to European School of Chemistry, Polymer, and Material Science. The school is under the University of Strasbourg, which is very famous for producing 3 Nobel Prizes in chemistry. So it's actually a good school if you want to study chemistry. So first, the formation. This is the school that focus primarily on R&D researcher and engineer. So we still learn engineer. We still learn engineer subjects such as thermodynamic and flow chemistry. But it is like well defined and doesn't really interact with the R&D subjects such as organic chemistry and analytical one. So the school have 6 semesters. The first 3 semesters is Trong Komang, which means that you learn everything from the engineering subject to organic chemistry to analytical chemistry to material science and even to the polymer. There's also difficult subject like quantum mechanics and statistical physics, but usually that it doesn't really have high coefficient. And then you have the last 3 semester. The last 3 semester is the specialization. So you can choose to specialize in chimie organic, chimie analytic, engineering do matériaux, or engineering do polymer. For example, I'm specialized in chimie organic, more specifically molecular chemistry. And then I have one of my junior that specialized in analytical chemistry. For the control, it uses control continue, which means that after you finish your subject, usually after 2 weeks, then you will have your exam. So it doesn't really have a lot of like final exam or an exam week. It may have, but it's not like full one day you will got 2 exam session. Doesn't really have a thing like that. The school have one ethos, which is engineer trilang. So it stress a lot on the language courses. So for example, there are some subject that is taught in English. So there's also a lot of time allocated for Elveda. So for me, for example, I take French, so because it's an easy subject to excel, and I can also interact with a lot of other international students. But I have some juniors that that take German because it's a new language and they can interact with the French. There is also the Spanish, but for the Spanish one, you must learn Spanish before coming to the school. So they don't take the beginner level. But the French and the German, they take beginner level. Now for the stage, it is obligatory for every year. The first year is stage ouvrier, which minimum of 4 weeks. The second year, you have stage engineer, which minimum of 3 months. And the third year is a stage de recherche, which minimum of 5 months, which is I'm doing right now. And one of the stage that you are doing, you must do it hors de pays origin, which means that you cannot do three or all three in Malaysia. Must be at least one of the stage. Must usually the second or the third one. You must do it in France or in other country. Now for the cities, so the city of Strasbourg is an European Euro metropole, what we call usually. So there's a lot of tourists and a lot of people that can speak English. It's also like a flat city, which is really good if you want to cycle. Actually, there's a lot of people cycling here. However, the Ecole is really far from the centre-ville. So if you're living in centre-ville or you live in Cruz, usually you need to take a bus or ride a bicycle. And one thing that you need to remember, this is a northern city, which means that it will be cold. So please be prepared. Have a good sweater or good winter jacket because the temperature can drop until -10. Now for the pros and cons. So the advantage of my school, you can do a double diploma with master. So for example, I'm taking diploma engineer. At the same time, I'm also taking the master on chimie supramolecular. So when I graduate, I will have 2 diploma engineer, a master. And then there's also an opportunity for exchange, international exchange on the final year. So there's country like China, Canada, or Singapore. However, this is a 1 year exchange. I don't know if you're going to Singapore for 1 year. I don't know if JPA can agree with that. But yeah, it's still there's still a good opportunity. The disadvantages of my Ecole usually is the same with a lot of Ecole, which is the rentrée première année is really rough because usually you need to take time to adapt with the new way of learning in Ecole. And then there's also certain TD is really weird, not really classic TD. There are some classic TD, but there are some TD that you need to you need to record your working. And then there are certain TD that you did not use paper but you use computer instead. And that's lead to another disadvantages, that every student that enroll need to buy tablet. A tablet does not supplied by the Ecole, but it will be used every time. So for if you want to go to the Ecole, you need to buy tablet. So that's all the presentation for my Ecole. If you want more information, you can go to ecpm.unistra.fr. Or you can contact me directly by Facebook. My name is Zaid Ahmad. Signing out.